right. Welcome back, guys. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about a retreat that I just went to for the past 6 days. I got back 2 days ago and went off into pretty much the middle of nowhere in Ojai, California. No phones, no technology, 13 other men, including myself, in a house doing a men's retreat. And I want to talk to you guys about what I personally learned from spending $6,000 on this experience. Now, first thing is that for some of you guys, that may seem like a lot of money, right? That may seem like $6,000 on a 5-6 day experience. Like, why would you do that? It sounds stupid, right? And first things first, I want to kind of talk about that and break that belief, because to most people in the world, spending $6,000 on a retreat like this is stupid, right? It makes no sense. But if you can frame money and think of money as something that is only a tool to benefit you and is an exchange of energy, then it doesn't really matter, right? Because if you were consistently making money, then you spending it is not something to worry about. And if you were someone who's making money through an entrepreneurial endeavor and you are the person who's making the money, meaning that you have a business that is reliant on you and your self-growth and your self-development, then every dollar that you spend investing in yourself will be something that returns back to you tenfold. And regardless if you have a business or not, regardless if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, even if you're working a 9 to 5, every dollar that you spend on yourself is something that I truly, genuinely believe will always return back to you tenfold. No matter where you're at in life, no matter how poor you are, how well off you are, every dollar that you spend on yourself will bless the world, it will bless yourself, and it will return back to you tenfold. Now, with that, I'm going to go over some of the things and some key points here that I've learned from the retreat. But it's also very important to know that just having an experience of, disconnecting from the world, of connecting with 13 other guys, just having those connections, even one relationship with one of those guys could be well worth $6, $10, $50, $100,000. It could make you that kind of money, or it could just be a good friendship. It could, be someone that you hang out with for the rest of your life. Or it could just be someone who gives you a piece of information, gives you a data set, gives you a download that helps you implement more of yourself into your life, and thus, make more money, be more present with people, love yourself more, whatever it may be. And that's well worth $6,000. So with that being said, first things first, I want to get into what I actually learned from this 6-day men's retreat. Now, really, it was about 4 days, 4 nights. The first day I got there was a little half day. I got there around 2 p.m., hung out with some of the guys, met them, had dinner, and kind of just, had a little introduction period. Then we had 4 days of intensive, inner work, spiritual practices, etc. And then the 6th day, half day, left around noon to 1 p.m. So with that, from these 4 days, there was a few things that we went over that really, really stuck with me, and that I've just spent about the past hour kind of journaling about, filling up my journal with 6, 7, 8 pages of notes here. So I boiled it down to about 8 points here. And I'm not going to go over them in any specific order. I'm not going to try to tie this into a well choreographed video. I'm just going to make this super raw, super authentic, super real, and just talk about what I'm feeling and tune into my intuition as I speak. So bear with me here. But the first thing that I want to talk about is the belly. And a lot of you guys are probably hearing this like, what are you talking about? Like, your belly, the thing that eats food, the thing that gets hungry? What are you talking about? And yes, it is that, but the belly is also a reservoir of energy. The belly, similar to the heart, similar to the mind, is a concentrated point of energy in the body, in an intelligent system with neurons inside of it, like the brain and like the heart, that kind of has a mind of its own, quite literally. We hear of the mind to body connection, the belly, the gut to brain axis. And it's because the belly, the heart, the mind, all these energy points, or the chakras, or whatever you want to call it, have the neurons in our body, and they have their own mind where they think and feel and act for themselves. Now, why is the belly so important? Everyone talks about the pineal gland, the heart, the root chakra, whatever it may be, all the different points in the body. But as a man, specifically as this was a men's retreat, the belly is something that is extremely important to tune into. And the reason for this is because the belly is a reservoir of primitive energy, similar to when you see a big cat, like a lion, a jaguar, a cougar, whatever it may be. They're all belly. They act from this place of primitive instinct. They're not thinking, they're in their instincts all the time. All the belly wants to do, this reservoir of energy, is to fight, fuck, sleep, and play. That's it. The belly, the instinctual human intuition and instincts in our body, in our primitive energy, is those 4 or 5 things. Now, this also goes to the next point, which is balancing astral and etheric, which to mediate the conversation between the belly and the mind, it is a conversation between the astral and the etheric. So, on one note, as humans, we exist as primitive beings, right? 100 years ago, 200, 1,000 years ago, we were simply primitive animals. We were living on this planet. We were fighting, fucking, sleeping, resting. That's all we were doing, right? That was the belly. That's the instinctual, primitive instinct within a human. And now we live in this world where we have houses, we have clothing, we have technology, we have all of these different things that allow us to be intellectual, to allow us to be cerebral. And that is the mediation between these 2 points. Most people only live here in a cerebral world because in the modern world, the belly, the primitive instincts of a human, are shunned, they're shamed. They are told not to tune into this because it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. It fills a room, it flavors a room. And it takes a lot. It's very intense for a lot of people. So a lot of people are told to, be small, to be kind, to be nice, to be cordial, and to just basically be in the world in an intellectual way, to not hurt other people, to again, be nice, be kind, just be very cordial. But it is the balancing of these 2 things that actually makes you a man and makes you really present in this world, the alignment, right? The alignment of the belly that just wants to fight, fuck, sleep, play, rest. The heart that just wants to love, feel empathy, feel compassion for other people. And the mind that is intellectual, that is kind, that is cordial, and that lives in this world. It's through this integration that you can actually be in alignment and be whole as a person. Right? It's the spine of energy, all the connections of energy points. Now, astral and etheric, right? Similar conversation between mediating the belly, which is the devil, basically, in this analogy. I'm not saying that the belly is innately bad, but the belly can also have dark, evil energy, right? It can want to murder, it can want to kill, it can want to do horrible, horrible, horrible things. But that's just a part of the human experience. It's a part of who you are. That's a part of human innate intuition and beingness in this body. So you have this body, which is your etheric, your feeling, your touching, your intuition, your instincts, which is your etheric. And then you have the astral, which is this video right now, being on a phone. The astral world is on a computer, how you portray yourself online. You watching this video right now, it's very astral. It takes you out of your body. It takes you out of the present moment of what you feel, think, and are in this moment. So two points to be made there. One is the balancing between this body and this present moment and the feelings and the instincts that you have and the astral world of technology and social media and all of these things that you're constantly thinking about, the cerebral mind, which leads to illness if not balanced properly. If you forget to tune into the body, if you forget to be with your body, then you become sick. You lose touch of your instincts, your intuition, what your body is actually telling you. Because at the end of the day, you can be the smartest person in the world intellectually, but your body and your intuition and what you feel is always going to be more intelligent. Always, 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 always. It does not matter who you are. Your body, your intuition, and your instincts are always smarter than what you actually think. They will tell you deeper truths, and it is through knowing these truths that you can make an intellectual understanding and comprehension of them. So it is through, again, balancing the etheric body, the intuition, the instincts that you have, and the astral mind, the astral body, the experiences in the intellectual and technological world. Now, also to that, the second point is that you must balance that in lifestyle activities as well, right? There is, especially in the modern world, a very high influx of astral jobs, astral behaviors. Everyone is on a computer all day. Everyone is thinking about something, using their mind. Everyone is so out of their bodies that they're constantly churning through information in their mind, and they're out of it. They're out of the present moment. They are not here. So doing things like dancing, like things that the belly likes to do, like dancing, playing, fucking, fighting, all of these different things are going to be things that allow you to get back into your body, into your etheric, and balance it with the astral world. It can be meditation, right? It can be journaling, it can be drawing, it can be painting, things that just allow you to tune into yourself, to feel who you actually are, to tune into those instincts, right? So especially if you're someone you're watching this video right now, you probably are an entrepreneur, someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, business owner, someone who just is a high performer in life. You have a lot of astral energy going on. Remember to balance that with the etheric, to get back into the body, to meditate, to read, to journal, to play, to fight, to fuck, to do all these things to get you back into your body and get you back into the etheric world. Because it is from this point of being able to tune into your intuition and your instincts that you can create more in the astral world. It is taking things from the etheric and putting them into the astral, right? Not the other way around. So hopefully that makes sense. It's not too far out there. One more thing I want to touch on with that is that with the belly, right? The belly, I've said this briefly, but the belly can be very dark, right? It can want to do horrible, horrible, horrible things. Murder, rape, kill, punch people in the face. But it's important to tune into that and accept that and just be with it, right? And to understand that every person in this world has a flavor to their energy, an innate energetic imprint that your belly can either like or hate, right? And just being able to tune into that. A lot of people in conversations are always thinking, what can I say next? How can this person like me? What can I say for this person to like me more? How can I fit in with these people? And that's astral, right? That's your mind. But there's also a lot of people you've probably met where if you really tune into it and you stop thinking and you listen to your body, you just want to punch them in the face. You hate them. You do not like them at all. You don't trust them. You want them just anywhere away from you. You don't like their energy. You want to just clean yourself off when you're around them. And that's your belly, right? And it's okay to express that. It's okay to feel that. And it's okay to be with that. So again, balancing the angel and the devil, the light and the dark, to be with your belly and those instincts and those primitive forces, but also not act on them. Right? You don't have to punch someone in the face if you don't like them, but you need to be able to feel that and internalize that and be okay with that, because it's an okay thing to feel. Right? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And the only way that you can be a warrior in a garden is to tune into those dark energetic forces and be okay with them. Stir the pot, allow it to flavor your energy, and just be with it. It's okay. So with that, leads me to my next point here. We've talked about the belly, talked about astral versus etheric. The next point I want to make here is the flavoring of energy that each person and each man specifically brings into a room. So regardless of where you are in this world, regardless of who you're talking to, regardless of where you're from, regardless of what you think is happening, every interaction that is taking place, every time you shake someone's hand, every time you look someone in the eyes, every time you talk to someone, there's an exchange of energy that is taking place. And again, it doesn't matter how you think you're showing up, who you think you are, who you're trying to portray yourself as, what mask or what hat you're wearing. There is a innate flavor and feeling of your energy that other people can see and feel. And they may not, again, intellectually, they may not know this at a body level, they may know it intellectually, or, they may not know it on a body level. Right? A lot of people are so out of touch with their intuition that they don't listen to their belly when they feel a certain thing about someone. So they force themselves to like you or be with you or to trust you, right? But it's very important to remember that, again, every interaction you have, every time you look someone in the eyes, their intuition, their instincts, their belly can feel everything about you, the insecurities, the fear, the anguish, the sadness, the being tired, the insecurities. Everything is seen right in your eyes and in your energy, the flavor that you put into a room. And you can't hide it, right? Everyone innately, intuitively knows it. A lot of people are out of their intuition, so they don't understand it, and they don't intellectually know it, and they don't act on it, and they don't trust their intuition, but everyone innately knows it. And it is every conversation you have with someone where there is an exchange of energy that takes place. There is basically a switching of energy that takes place. You're shaking their hand, you're saying, okay, have some of my energy, I'll take some of yours. And you feel it. Now, with that, it's also important to realize that intuitively a lot of people will get this energy from other people. They feel it, but they don't actually know that they have it. You can get someone else's energy. You can feel someone else's energy. You can basically have it come onto you through a conversation. And a lot of people do not realize that this is happening. So they think that after they talk to someone who's sad or depressed and they kind of get that sticky energy on them, they don't know that it's not theirs, and they take it on for themselves, and they start to think that that is a part of them, right? And hopefully that makes sense, but it's important to realize that you're also doing that to other people, right? So like your interaction, you looking someone in the eyes, just your energy and your beingness in the world, that energetic, auric field that you bring into the world and that other people feel, can completely change the trajectory of someone's day, week, year, even life, right? So being very conscious of that, being conscious of who you are, how you flavor the room, what your energy is, how you show up in the world, looking yourself in the eyes and seeing what you intuitively feel, know, and trust. Because again, every interaction, there's an exchange that takes place that is very, very important to tune into. So with that, my action step for this, if this doesn't make sense to you or if this doesn't resonate, would be to, next time you meet someone, next time you're talking to literally anyone, tune into how you feel beforehand, if you know you're going to talk to them. And then rather than thinking about what you're going to say next, what they're thinking, how I should react, do they like what I'm saying, do they love me, tune into how you feel when they're talking, what their energy is and how that energy is making you feel. And then tune into how you feel after you had a conversation with them. Do you need to clean it off? Do you need to process anything? Do you feel sadder? Do you feel happier? What did their energetic imprint give you or take away from you? And realize that that's not you, but that is simply an energetic exchange that took place during that conversation. And then realize that that also happened to the other person. So what kind of energy do you want to be imprinting in other people? Now, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's totally okay. But I think this is going to lead me to my next point here, which is the paradox of being liked. So a lot of people think that by covering themselves up, by being less of who they actually are, by not showing their vulnerabilities, by being someone who is not extremely out there, who's not having big, strong, polarizing opinions, they will be more liked. And to an extent, you will be more liked, but no one will really love you. No one will really feel you and trust you. And the reason that I say this is because in this retreat that I went to, right, we had something of a walk, right? Someone would walk around the room. We would feel the energy, how they flavored the room, what we saw in them, what we felt in them, how we felt feeling them. And I won't get into specific details, but a lot of the times what this would lead to is doing some shadow work, getting into the depths of their being and having someone have a release of anger, of crying, of fear, of whatever it may be, and just really feeling the vulnerabilities of their being. And while a lot of people did completely change how we saw them before and after, it was always for the better. There was never a single person who shared and got vulnerable and went to the depths of their being that we did not like, trust, or know better or worse because of it. And this is to say that if you want to be liked, if you want to be truly loved, if you want to be accepted in this world, it is not by morphing who you are into what other people want you to be or what other people think you should be. It is by being true to yourself, by tuning into these primitive forces and just being yourself, expressing your vulnerabilities, crying, being sad, being angry. Because it is through this that people actually feel you. Think about any person you've ever known in life, in the world, in marketing, sales. Anytime that someone expresses vulnerability and you can feel them, that is exactly when you begin to respect them, to trust them, to know them, to love them. So all of it to say, a lot of people think that they need to hide their vulnerabilities. They don't want to be too much for other people. They need to be someone else that fits in with other people, with what other people want them to be in order to be loved and liked and trusted. But it is through the practices of being vulnerable, being open, of being who you genuinely are, that people will actually like you, and you will actually begin to attract the right people into your life, right? And my next point here is that, similar to what I said in this piece about the paradox of being liked, a lot of people walk through this world. You can think of it, a lot of people walk around this world kind of like a puzzle piece, right? Their energy is a puzzle piece. There's holes where you can fill in, right? There's holes where you can fill into their energy with what they need, their insecurities. Maybe someone doesn't fully love themselves or doesn't fully trust themselves. It's a missing piece of the puzzle that can be filled in, right? Or maybe they just want to be loved. They want to be liked. They want to be trusted. They want to feel powerful. They want to feel abundant. Whatever it may be, they have these missing pieces in the puzzle piece that is their energy and their being. And a lot of people, myself included, I used to do this a lot, is intuitively you can feel what people are missing, what they need, and if you can give that to them, if you can shift your energy and give someone what they need and what they like, then they will love you. They will feel whole around you, and therefore you will be accepted. They will love you, and you will feel that kind of love. And this is the same thing if you're a man in this world. There's a lot of men out there who, to get a woman, they will figure out basically who they want in a man, what they've been hurt by in the past, what they want, what they feel they need, the security, the safety, whatever it is that they feel like they need, and they will basically become that person to fill those missing pieces in their energy, right? And it's through this that, like, yes, you can be very effective at this. You can be very effective at getting other people to like you, to love you, to trust you in this process, but it's not real. It's not actually you. And it is through this that you lose who you actually are, because you're basically being a ditto, right? You're filling in, you're morphing to what other people want you and need you to be, and you're not actually being yourself. You're not actually being true to yourself, because you're yearning to be loved, to be trusted, to feel powerful, and you're filling your own missing pieces by doing that. So it's tuning into that, to understanding that, to trusting that, and understanding that, people, there's gonna be a ton of people that if you stay true to yourself, your belly, your heart, your mind, truly just being who you are, and you're not giving other people your energy, you're not filling their holes, and you're just being, that there's gonna be a lot of people who don't like you. A lot of people who don't like you. But there's also gonna be a lot of people who respect you way more, who actually love you, who want the best for you, and you're going to begin to attract the right people into your life. So that's my piece about the missing pieces of energy that everyone has. And I think as well, one thing that's important to note about that is that back to the exchanges of energy that take place during a conversation, there's also a collapse of energy that takes place, right? You'll notice that when you're first meeting someone, there's a separation of energy, and usually one person's energy, if they're not strong, if they're not whole with themselves, you'll notice this a lot. One person's energy will kind of collapse into the other person's energy, and they will give them what they need because they are the stronger person in that situation. They have a stronger trust, love, and knowingness within themselves, and their energy, this person's energy, begins to basically be given. They're defeated, their will is taken apart, and they give to this person their missing bits. So again, just being able to tune into that when you feel like your energy is collapsing, being given to other people, when you're filling other people's missing pieces, and staying true to yourself. Also, when you do that, you'll notice that other people begin to fill your pieces, and it may make you feel really good. You may begin to play into that, and you may take advantage of that. So tuning into that, tuning into yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of people in your life who are less than you, who do that to you so that they can get love and they can feel better about themselves. Or it may be the opposite. There may be people who are better than you, but you do that too so that you can get love and you can feel love. So tuning into that, staying whole with yourself, trusting your belly, trusting your intuition, and staying aligned and whole within that. Having two people have their own energy, have a conversation, and navigate through that whole individuals. So that's my bit about the missing pieces. And another thing I learned is the difference between inputs and actually metabolizing information. And what I mean by that is that most people in this world today, back to astral and etheric, most people are always in the astral, the internet world, the getting information, having things put onto them. So they have so much that is being input into their mind, other people's thoughts, other people's beliefs, other people's energy that they're taking on that they don't realize is not them. So they constantly have this background noise of basically like an air conditioner in a house that's just constantly on all day, and they don't even realize it because they're so out of touch with themselves, and they can't even think for themselves. They can't even tune into their own center and their own intuition because there's constantly outputs. They're constantly taking things in, and they're just exhausted by everything that they're taking in this life. Now, there's a time and a place for this, right? Like 100 years ago, this is what people needed. People were so in their body. People had already metabolized everything. People were so in their etheric that they may have been bored and they needed more to spark ideas, to get information, to get creative. But now we have so much of it that we need to focus on metabolizing it. We need to focus on feeling the things that are coming into our body, into our mind, into our spirit, into our belly, and feeling it, sitting with it, allowing it to be, and allowing it to pass through us. Because what may happen for you, what happened for me, is that I would consistently let things come in for, Monday through Friday, 6-7 days a week even. And then all of a sudden it would be so much for me, I'd be so exhausted that I would just have to completely take a day off, go off into the woods and just sit with everything and just let it be. Because again, it's a buildup of forces of energy that happens in your body that you need to allow to move through you. And you can do this through practices like meditation, like journaling, just basically the things that come in, getting them out on paper, letting the energy to flow through you. Same thing with meditation, the emotions that come up in your belly and your mind and your instincts, sitting with them, feeling them, and letting them pass through you. Because if you're constantly in the etheric, if you're constantly letting things come in and you're constantly doing output and work and you're focusing and working and you're in this state, then you're not metabolizing everything. You're not chewing on how it makes you feel or what it makes you think. You're literally just storing and harboring energy, and you're causing an unneeded stress in your body. This is how you get out of alignment. This is how you get sick. This is how you get unhealthy. This is how you get disease. This is essentially how you lose yourself and lose who you actually are. So a friendly reminder to focus on the inputs coming into your mind. What are the inputs? How are they making you feel? Tune into the conversations you're having, the videos you're watching, even this video right now, if you're still watching this. How am I making you feel right now? Tune in after this video. Literally, I encourage you, I challenge you to turn your phone off, sit for 10, 15 minutes, set a timer, and just tune in to how you feel after watching this video, how you feel in your body. Maybe something comes up from years ago, decades ago, and just sit with it, feel it. Maybe you journal about how it made you feel. Just get things out and sit with it. And don't just keep stuffing things in without metabolizing how one thing actually made you feel, okay? Literally, watch something, have a conversation, whatever, metabolize it, chew on it. How did it make you feel? What did it make you think? And then once you're clear, once your energy is passed through, you're a blank canvas, then you move on to the next thing and you continue getting inputs, right? So tune into your inputs, metabolize them, sit with them, feel them, and tune into your center and who you actually are. Remember that your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, they're not actually you, they're pieces of your body that you are the observer of, right? Now, another thing I want to talk about on that note is crystallization, right? Because a lot of people will essentially find something that they like, that they're good at, that fills a void within them, that takes up their entire personality. And what I mean by this, to give a more specific example, is like, let's say a very insecure, scared, sensitive little boy, right? A lot of these guys become fighters. A lot of these guys become UFC fighters. A lot of them, if you tune into UFC fighters and actually get to know them, they were just scared little boys, and a lot of them still are. And that's not to say anything bad about them, but this is an example of what crystallization is, because a lot of people have a deep wound, a deep scar on them that they find an outlet to make them feel more powerful, to basically ignore this, right? It may be getting super rich and becoming a real estate investor. It may be becoming a UFC fighter. It may be becoming an artist. Literally anything can be a way to do this. And through this, a lot of times they will ignore this wound, this cut, the thing that they felt and promised to never feel again, or promised to never see or be that person again. And they will constantly just stir the pot with something else. The shy, insecure, sensitive little boy continues to stir the pot with UFC fighting, learning more and more fighting so that he can be more strong in this world, feel more powerful, feel more present, feel like he can actually do something, right? And it is through this that you can crystallize your entire personality. A lot of people will forget who they actually are, who they actually used to be, what the things they actually used to feel are, because all they do is focus on this one thing. There's tons and tons and tons of people out there who they forget who they were when they were a child. They forget their inner child. They forget their inner knowingness and their inner peace. And they simply choose a profession, a passion, not a passion, a profession, or a thing that makes them feel whole and strong, that fills that void, that becomes their personality. A lot of people, their whole personality is food, being a foodie, because it fills this void of insecurity, feeling scared of food, comforting them. A lot of people, their entire personality will be jujitsu or kickboxing because it makes them feel comfortable. It is the realm where they feel comfortable and they don't have to revisit their insecurities and their vulnerabilities. Their entire personality is a real estate developer because this allows them to feel powerful, to feel in control, to feel like they have that power, that peace, that knowingness that they are something and that they are valuable in this world. And they completely forget to integrate everything inside of themselves, to feel, to metabolize everything that they've been through and actually create a dynamic personality of who they actually are, rather than just picking something that allows them to feel powerful and ignore their vulnerabilities. So be wary of crystallization. What is the thing that you are doing right now? Maybe it's entrepreneurship, maybe it's fighting, maybe it's playing the piano, that fills a void inside of you, that makes you feel like it is your realm, that allows you to ignore vulnerabilities. And maybe you don't have any, right? But just being aware of this For a lot of people, it's fighting, it's entrepreneurship, making more money, something that makes them feel powerful in the astral world, in the world that people care about intellectually, that ignores their etheric, that ignores the forces within their body that actually need to be exposed, need to be vulnerable, and that actually matter. If everything is taken away, if all the money, all the status, everything, the followers, everything is taken away, who you actually are, everything gone, that is what needs to be visited. And a lot of people use things to crystallize that so that they can ignore who they actually are, right? If you're in a room with a bunch of other people, 13 other men, no one knows anything about your money, your finances, your followers, anything. Who are you? That is what you need to tune into. So that's what I'll say about crystallization. And then the last point I want to make here is forces, right? I think this ties well into pretty much everything. And to tie this back into, this ties into literally everything. This ties into the flavor of your energy. This ties into the missing pieces of your energy. This ties into the inputs in your metabolization. This ties into astral and etheric, the belly, crystal, literally everything. So forces. A lot of people, myself included, have forces at play in their life. Whether it is, imagine yourself, you're here, you're centered, right? Your energy, you're in alignment. There's forces that drag you, that pull you to do certain things. Whether it's greed and money, whether it is power and respect, whether it is women and sexuality, whether it is peace and love, right? Being aware of the forces that are pulling at you each and every single day. For a lot of people, the feelings of greed, the feelings of power, the feelings of being respected, of dominating, of dark energy, dark forces are the things that are strongest, right? They have the most pull. They're the most potent. They make you feel the most stimulation. The same way that your phone is a very dense, very potent form of stimulation that isn't good, right? It's not good for your mental well-being, but it's so potent that it pulls you, and sometimes you can't avoid it, right? When something like meditation, right? It's not as potent, it doesn't pull as hard, but it's always there, waiting for you. It wants you to be with it. And it brings you a deep sense of joy and fulfillment that's actually aligned with your being. So tuning into the forces that are pulling you each and every single day, every time you wake up, what is the force pulling you to do what you're doing today? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you making content? Why are you creating a video? Why are you doing a business? Why are you treating this person this way? Why are you having this conversation? Why are you sending this message? Why are you feeling a certain way? What actually motivates you to do what you do? And tuning into the force that is pulling you. Maybe it's scarcity, maybe it's fear, maybe it's the fear of being loved or rejected, the conversations that you're having, and tuning into the force that is pulling you to say what you're saying. Be doing what you're doing, acting how you're acting. The habits that you have, what's the force that's pulling you to do that, right? Because it's not you. There is a force that is filling in a missing piece of your energy that makes you feel whole and makes you feel better so that you can ignore that allows you to kind of move into a crystallized state so that you can avoid those vulnerabilities. And it is through practicing each and every single day, meditating, sitting, asking yourself, what is pulling me today? What do I want to do? Why am I acting this way? Do I feel fear? Do I feel scarcity? Do I feel abundance? Do I feel love? What are the things that are pulling you? And constantly refining it, tuning up the strings to make sure you're in alignment. You're doing things for light rather than love, light rather than darkness. You're doing things for love rather than hate or fear. And you're doing things in alignment and in integrity. So I think that's pretty much everything I have for forces here. So just to summarize this video, we've talked about the belly, the primal reservoir of energy that every man, every person has, can be expressed in different ways. There's more masculine ways of expressing the belly, like fighting or fucking or playing, or war, for example, is very belly. There's also very feminine ways of expressing the belly, which are totally okay, even if you're a man. Doing art, doing poetry, dancing, rhythm, different things that allow you to get into the belly, to get into the body, getting into that and tuning into that, because that is something that is so shunned in modern day society. Astral versus etheric, tuning into when you're in that constant mind chatter, cerebral realm of the internet, or just thinking about things. Even, dreaming and just being in your mind is a very astral thing. You're out there, you're in the realm of dreaming, right? You're thinking, you're not being. So tuning into your etheric being, doing things that get you back into the etheric, into your belly, doing things like talking on a camera, doing things like being in your body, playing, surfing, fighting, doing things that get you back into your belly and balance the astral world that so many people are out of balance with. Metabolizing the inputs that are coming into your mind from the astral world, all of the thoughts, the emotions, the podcasts, the videos, even this video, sitting after this video, metabolizing with it, sitting with it, feeling it, being with it, and just allowing it to be with you. Again, being cautious of your inputs and being cautious of why you are choosing the inputs you're choosing. The aspect of missing pieces of energy. What are your missing pieces of energy? What are the things that you do in your life, the habits, the actions, the thoughts, the behaviors that you have that are filling missing pieces of your energy and that are allowing you to not metabolize what needs to be metabolized? Who are you when everything is taken away? The money, the followers, the fame, the money. Even if you don't have anything, if all of the negative connotations of what you don't have is taken away, who are you then? That may even be a better thing for you to think about. Because if you can become someone who is great, regardless of not making a lot of money and not having a good place to live or whatever it may be, and you're just a great person, you're all good, right? So inputs versus metabolizing, tuning into the missing pieces of yourself and also other people, how you may be pleasing other people or being a people pleaser or filling their missing pieces of energy so that you can be liked or loved, and tuning into that, tuning into how other people are doing that to you and what your missing pieces are. And then just also allowing the paradox of being liked to be present. Because a lot of people, myself included, will want to please other people. We want to fill these missing pieces so that we can be loved. We want to not fully show our vulnerabilities and be too much, because we know we'll be judged, or we'll be not loved, and we won't be accepted. Because people don't want to see this, because we're always operating in the cerebral astral realm. But if we're tuning into the etheric, we're tuning into our bodies, everyone wants you to be vulnerable. We want you to be yourself. We want you to be who you truly are, and we want you to express vulnerabilities, weaknesses, cry, yell, whatever it may be, and just truly be yourself. That's what people love, that's what people respect, and that is what it means to be a man and a person in this world. Now, forces, right? Tuning into the forces that are pulling you each and every single day. Is it greed? Is it scarcity? Is it poverty? Is it wanting to be loved or liked? The things that you're saying, why you're saying them, why you're tuning into the actions and habits that you have, the forces that are pulling you each way, and just understanding that the forces are not you. You are you. You are observing these things take place, and you have full control over your actions and behaviors. And in the same way, people will sense this, the flavor of your energy. You, other people, everyone. If you tune into your intuition, your belly, trust your etheric, you can know what other people are about. You can tune into their energy. You can see them in the eyes and know everything about them. Descartes says the eyes are the seat of the soul, and you can know everything about someone through the eyes, and it is so, so, so true. Now, last but not least, crystallization. Tuning into all of these things and understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe you're becoming an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to make a lot of money. Maybe you want to become a fighter to fill a gap inside of yourself so that you can feel strong and feel whole. Maybe you've already done that, right? Tuning back into that and just putting yourself in the situation of, if everything is taken away, who are you to other people and to yourself? Minus the money, minus giving other people things, the followers, the fame, maybe not having it. Who are you to other people? Are you present? Are you whole? Are you with me? Are you with other people? Now, action steps for this video. Again, click off this video as soon as it ends, in 30 seconds to a minute. Sit with it, metabolize it, be with it, and also be cautious of that throughout your days. When you're just scrolling, sit, turn it off, metabolize. You're putting too many inputs in. You're filling your astral body and you're not tuning back into your body. Go play, fight, dance, Tune into your body, sit, meditate, journal, get them out, process the energy, allow the energy to flow, and focus on that throughout your day, metabolizing everything that comes in and out. And maybe it feels like you're slowing down, and you're getting less work done, but if you can get work done from a place of alignment and tuning into your body, 1 hour of work from there is 10 times more effective than 5 hours of work from being in this space of overwhelm and too many inputs and being in the astral world. So tune into that, trust that, follow that, and allow yourself to metabolize that and just be who you are. Don't be pulled by these forces that don't actually matter. Tune into yourself and what you actually want in this world, and trust your intuition. Tune into the belly, the heart, the mind, what is in alignment, and be who you are, regardless of what other people think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a decent summary of the $6,000 that I spent. It wasn't too all over the place. If something didn't make sense, leave it down in the comments. I'll answer you guys. But hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.